Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Kama with Kama Speaks. And today, once again, I'm speaking on domestic violence. This morning, I am talking about the embarrassment. A lot of people always ask, why didn't you speak up? Well, for me, it's embarrassing. It was an embarrassment to let people know exactly what it was I was going through. Yes, I did need help. Yes, it was hard, but it was still embarrassing. I thought about a situation where I was told for one not to get married. I was told to wait, and I didn't. And for religious reasons, I was told we were not equally yoked, so I shouldn't do it. And I thought, no, I believe that, God is gonna work this thing out, and I know He'll be saved. And it didn't happen. A couple of weeks later, a friend of mine came to me and said that somebody was asking, "Well, how's Kama and how's her marriage?" And she said, "Oh, everything is good." So the person tells her, "Oh, she would never tell you the truth anyway." So I thought, why would you even ask? For one, why would you ask about my marriage? That's none of your business. And if you want to know, ask me. Don't ask my friends. One thing I'm learning, I will say this: keep people out your business. I will say that much. Even if you're in a good relationship, well, if you're in a good relationship, still keep people out your business because people sabotage. But at this point, couldn't understand why she would say that. But I just thought that was mean and cruel. So I took offense to it for years. Um, but she's right. I wasn't going to tell her everything. It was none of her business to me. But at that time, I wasn't being abused or anything. It was just more control, lots of control. That's when I ended up having a curfew where I had to be in the house by 10 o'clock. I didn't even have a curfew when I left my parents' house, but I had a curfew. The reason why was because I went somewhere at the time we had pagers. He paged me and I was talking. Oh, actually, I was at church and he paged me and I didn't call him back. He didn't like that. And I remember looking at my pager and I was like, I'll just talk to him when I get home. It was maybe 2, 3 weeks after we got married, and we have night service at my old church. So I usually stay for night service. This particular time, I don't know. The day after I got married, I remember crying to him and I was like, I don't think I want to do this. I don't know what I got myself into. And he was like, no, you're just, scared. This is new. And I said, okay. And I went with it. Something inside me was like, no, I couldn't tell people that I had to be home by a certain time. The only thing I can think was, what do I tell them? So I just said, oh, I need to go home. I just got married. It's not good for me to be out late. And that's what I did. But again, that was embarrassment. Now, when the things started happening, the physical abuse started happening, I definitely couldn't tell anybody because I couldn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand how me as a grown woman had to get someone to put their hands, or not had to get, but had someone put their hands on them. I just didn't understand that. And then I thought, what would people think about me? What would they say about me? Because growing up, I was such an outgoing person and very big personality. And I just went through, I had a good childhood. It wasn't a bad childhood at all. So I just didn't understand, how do I tell people this? This is not something I would share with somebody. I'm just going to make it work regardless. Because I know too, people are going to say, "Oh, I told you so." You shouldn't have, but they'll talk about me, ridicule me. Over the years, it got to the point that it didn't matter. It didn't even matter. For me, I wouldn't even call the police because what's the purpose of me calling the police? Because guess what? I was going to take them back anyway. So I just started, a lot of things were going through my head. And I remember the very first time I did call the police after about 9 years, the police did not believe me. I remember telling the police what had happened, and they just looked at me and they had this smirk on their face. So after he got arrested, I looked on file in the booking information. You can go online and look at the inmate booking, and it said he was in for some warrants. It didn't even talk about domestic violence. I was hurt. And then when he came back home, I let him back home. He told me, he said, you know what? They laughed at you and they were saying that they didn't even believe you. and they were taking me in for warrant. So when I looked, that was very true. As a matter of fact, they told me in a few days that particular week, the DA was going to call me about pressing charges. Never received a call from the DA. And this happened in Riverside. So this was the Riverside Police Department. And I don't care putting them out there because I believe that it was wrong. And at that time, I didn't think of calling the police chief or calling anybody, but I thought it was wrong and disrespectful that I had just went through all that I went through. And I won't get into detail right now, but everything I just went into, and all the officers did was laugh at me. And they said, "Oh, you'll be out by Monday," because this happened on a Friday night. And that he was out by Monday. And did I take him back? Yes. So I thought, if I don't have the police on my side, who's going to really believe me? So it turned into that. The police were laughing at me like this was a joke. This was part of the reason why I was embarrassed, because I figured my friends and family would do that. And then when the police did it, it got even worse. I really didn't want to speak to anybody. But forget what other people say. You continue to call. You continue to do what you have to do. You speak up and you speak out. Forget being embarrassed. So what? It's your life that's on the line. People may not try to hurt you or try to kill you, but it happens. So please forget the embarrassment. Forget what you're embarrassed about and speak up and speak out. If you need help, you can go to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, which is ncadv.org, and you can find out where you can go to shelters, where you can seek help for counseling. You can also go to two friends of mine here in California directly, which is Natalie Lamb with isyourchoiceonline.com. Again, that's Natalie Lamb with isyourchoiceonline.com. She has an upcoming seminar called the Disturb Seminar, and she also has help where she's a marriage and family therapist, and she can help walk you through this. Also, you can see my friend. Her name is Malika Brown. She has yourmindisbeautiful.com. That's yourmindisbeautiful.com. If you go to her website, she can help you with low cost to no cost counseling or help. All right. Thank you for watching Kama Speaks. You can also visit my website, which is kamaspeaks.com. That's KAMA speaks.com. Make sure no matter what you do, always get help. Speak up, speak out if you're going through this situation. All right. Thanks for watching.